Hi friends, my name is Irina and I work at the National Portrait Gallery, where we share the stories of people who have helped shape the United States. Welcome to this week's Introducing, where we shine a light on some of this country's history makers and their portraits. Just like reading a book, looking at a portrait can tell us a lot about somebody. Every week for Introducing, we will explore the fascinating stories behind the portraits and learn a few new vocab words along the way. This week, we are introducing Betty Friedan. Betty Friedan was a writer, an author, and a feminist. A feminist is someone who believes that women and men should be treated equally, and that women and men should have the same chances and the same opportunities to do anything that they want. So now I want to show you a portrait of Betty Friedan. Here is the portrait, and I first want to ask, what colors do you see in this portrait? This portrait is very rich in colors. When I look at this portrait, I see Betty Friedan's gray hair, and I also see blue specks in her hair. Can you see those blue specks? What about her clothes? What colors do you see in Betty Friedan's clothes? I see her green jacket, and I also see her black shirt. What colors do you like to wear? Do you wear these colors? Sometimes the colors in a painting can actually give us a clue or a feeling that lets us know about who the sitter or the person in a portrait is. How do these colors make you feel? Let's take a look at Betty Friedan's pose in this portrait to see if we can gather some clues as to who she was. So in this portrait, we see Betty Friedan. She has one hand behind her head, and her face is slightly turned to the side. Her eyes are actually looking off to the side as well. Can you look off to the side? And to me, it looks like Betty Friedan is almost smiling. Can you pose like Betty Friedan? Do you think she looks relaxed? Do you think she looks thoughtful? What might she be thinking about or looking at? Well, Betty Friedan was actually very smart and thoughtful, and she thought a lot about gender roles. Gender roles are the ways in which people expect you to act, dress, and speak because of your gender. One of the most common gender roles is that girls should wear pink and boys should wear blue. And while some people might follow these gender roles, they are all made up, and many times they're kind of silly. Like, boys can definitely wear pink and girls can wear blue. Another example of gender roles that was popular when Betty Friedan was young was that women were expected to stay at home, to cook, to clean, and take care of their children. And men were supposed to go out and get a job and make money for their families. And if a woman tried to go out and get a job like a man, she was looked down upon. People told her that she couldn't get this job because she was a woman. People told her that she wasn't smart enough because she was a woman. And there were no laws to protect women from this unfair treatment. Betty Friedan saw that this was wrong, and many of her feminist friends did too. She felt so strongly about the unfair treatment of women that she helped to lead a movement where she and many others spoke out about the unfair ways that women were being treated. Betty Friedan also wrote multiple books. Her most famous one is called The Feminine Mystique. In the book, she asks, who knows what women can be when they are finally free to be themselves? This month, we've talked a lot about people who wrote about freedom, people who believed in freedom, people who marched and protested for freedom. And so I want to end by asking you, when do you feel the most free to be yourself? So thank you so much for joining us for this week's Introducing about Betty Friedan, and we look forward to seeing you right back here next Wednesday for another one.